Have you ever felt bored while learning English? Maybe things are very slow or very easy and you're detached. Or maybe you're on the other side, where things are just confusing, nothing makes sense, you don't understand anything, and you're also detached. Well, progress, real progress, is in between those two feelings. That's the zone that we need to aim for and to go towards. We need that our brains work enough to stretch, but not enough to burn out and to be just shut down. So you have to take this into account when you're choosing the method that you're going to use or the tools that you're gonna buy or whatever. So for example, in my case, I really like Lyrics Training. Lyrics Training is a website where you can choose a song and you can identify the words that are missing and you can choose your level, and I just love music, so I find that very engaging to me. I used to use it and I thought that I was learning English because I was processing in a way, but that's the real question. Was I processing? Was I doing enough, or was I just tricking myself into thinking that because it was in English and I was just having fun? That's the big question for today's episode. Does it have to be fun? Does it have to feel good? Or is there something else that we should go for when we are acquiring a language? We're gonna go into more detail with it with Sal. Let's see what he has to say. Do you think that a method should feel engaging from the beginning, or it's okay to be bored?
Yeah, well, it's never good to be bored. You can't be bored and you can't be confused. Confusion is, I don't understand what I'm even doing here. What am I doing? If I watch a show, and I do, in Japanese, it's like, I'm trying, but I just don't get it. I can't find the pattern. It's too much. It's too fast. And obviously, I could do it in time because other people are doing it. I just can't do it, right? And so there's no value there. I'm confused. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Now, if we started with just one word in Japanese and showing me a picture and a word like we start in English here, I can handle that. I may not know the answer. I'm not confused. I understand. It's a challenge. I just don't have it organized yet. But I understand what we're doing, and I'm not confused. I'm just not able yet. There's the difference. So when we talk about confusion, we mean, I don't know what's going on. I'm detached. There's no sense in spending your valuable time in a confusion, situation, thinking that you're learning something. You're not. You're not acquiring, you're not learning, you're confused. So you either have to get clarity and move forward, or you need to do something different. And it's the same with boredom. If you do the same thing and you already know this, and you're repeating things you already know, you're not learning, you're not moving forward, you're bored. There's no benefit to this. You have to do something else, move up, right?
And is there a chance that maybe you feel bored doing something and you still don't have it in your brain?
You could be bored with the process. You could be bored with learning a language. Yes, that's part of, as I say, adults can block themselves. It has nothing to do with the language. I just don't want to spend my day this way. I just don't want to do this. I would rather be riding my bicycle. Okay, but if you want this end result, though, you're not going to get it by riding your bicycle. So what is it that you want? If you just want to enjoy yourself, then you make those choices, based on that. If you really want to, get a new job in Canada next year, and you have to have English, and some places in Canada you have to have French, actually, but we don't deal in French, we're just English, then you better get to it. And what I mean by bored is this material, you're not being stretched, you're not being challenged. You're on the treadmill, talking on the phone, walking. You're not exercising. Bruh. You're not really exercising. I guess anytime you're moving your feet, you could say you're exercising. But you know what I mean, you're not advancing. Mm-hmm. You got to turn it up a little and make it a little uncomfortable in order to advance, especially if you want to go fast. Yeah, you could either do a little for a long time, or you could do a more intense for a short time. What's your choice? It's an individual choice.
It's like the interest that you have in reaching your goals.
Like polyglots. I'm not against the polyglots. I mean, they're impressive. They just want to acquire more languages and more languages and more languages. It's just their interest, and they eat it up, and they're great at that. And then that's why they're great at it, because they love it. No different than a musician that just wants to sit there and play music all day. That's all they want to do. Yeah, they're probably going to be good at it. right? If that's what drives you, then you're naturally going to be able to process it and get good at it because that's what you do. But if you don't really want to learn a language, but listen, my life will be better if I do, that's a different situation, right? You're not doing it for the love of the endeavor of the moment. You're doing it because you want a result. So if that's the case, and you're still not excluded from the ultimate prize of becoming fluent. I mean, we're all fluent because we grew up wherever we grew up as kids, and that was the language, and we're fluent in it. Not because we loved it, right? It's just how it is. So same thing. You could become fluent in English without loving learning languages, without loving English, without even loving English society, English-speaking society. You don't need to even love that. But if you want to acquire the language, then you have to process it. And you have to process it if you want to go fast in a very efficient way. And you have to go up to, if you want to go as fast as you can, you have to go up to the level that you can process it with your particular brain. And that's it. You don't have to do that, but if you want to go as fast as you can, that's how it works. And you'll get there. Without the love, you will still get there, but you do have to process it. And if you're just like resentful so much, like I hate it and I don't want to do it, like we see in college, kids are forced to do things in college. Like, I don't want to be in this class. What are you going to do? You're going to block it. And you're going to find a workaround. Well, you have to get at least a C or you can't graduate. Well, you'll do a workaround. You'll, pay the teacher or pay someone to you'll find a workaround, but it's not something you really want. So if you really want it or want the end result and this is what you have to do, then you have to do it. I mean, that's the hard reality. Like to sugarcoat it and come up with some kind of magic, but yeah, it's not really magic, but it's reliable. And if you do it, you'll get the reward. And the wonderful thing is, it's not for the rest of your life. Once you acquire a language and you're using it, that's it. You're using it. It's not gonna go away.
You get it.
You don't have to keep paying the dues. You have to decide though if that's worth it on an individual basis.
Okay.
Let's put it this way: if you're perfectly fluent and you're able to communicate, but you're still taking classes, or you're still studying and you're bored because you know all this, you're just wasting your time. You already passed through this. You already accomplished this. Either move on to something else or stop. Just use the language. You're already there. Just go ahead and use it, right? Like as a native speakers, we don't practice English anymore. We don't. Some people pick up a dictionary and read, to be honest. Well, okay, but most people don't. We're fluent and we use the language and we're not trying anymore. You can get to that point. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to be a student your whole life. You can move on.
And would you say that motivation helps us going through this whole process? Because I would relate motivation with things that we find fun. It's fun, so I'm motivated. It's not fun.
That is your motivation.
Yeah.
You're enjoying it. What more motivation do you need? I like it. I'm doing it. Yeah, that's why I say polyglots seem to love languages, and so yeah, you don't have to twist their arm. They're full on. Someone else that doesn't really love it, but I got to do it. Well, you got to find your motivation. Your motivation might be getting the prize, and if that's not strong enough, then you won't do it. Then it's wishful thinking. I wish I could learn a language, right? But you're not really motivated. Does that make sense? We really only work with motivated people who just don't understand how to do it efficiently. That's really the benefit of what we do for people. But if you're not motivated and you really don't want it, like, I don't want to waste people's time. I don't want my time wasted, right? You got to be honest with yourself. If you're just wishing and you're poking it and you don't really care, it's like, how could I work with you? It's no different than a personal trainer. Like, unless you're just doing it for the money, I don't care what my clients do, as long as you pay me. That's one attitude. Or other might be like, hey, if you're not motivated, I can't work with you. I only work with people who want to be good. Like, yeah, right? How do you help someone who doesn't want to help themselves? We use the weight loss analogy, right? There are people who really want to lose weight, but they're not as motivated as they think they are, right? Because it means changing your diet habits, going to the gym, doing these things, not drinking Coca-Cola, maybe drinking water, those sorts of things. And you want to look good, but it's not, you think you do, but you actually don't. And then maybe one day you go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, you have 6 months to live the way you're going if you don't change what you do. So are you prepared to die because you have 6 months left? And you're like, oh,
That's a big
I don't want to die.
motivation.
And all of a sudden they're motivated and they change everything. That's it. But I mean, did the doctor actually do that? That wasn't, he just gave him the truth. This is the truth, right? If you want this and you don't want to do what it takes to get it, you're not going to get it. That's the truth. That's how it is. Find your own motivation and, you know, however you can do it. But the reality is I can only help with helping people to see the natural way. If they believe in this and they do this and they can judge for themselves, everybody's different, but you know, this is not anything but aligning with nature. If you feel like you can do better than nature, I guess then have at it. I mean, I don't think I can do better than nature. So I align myself with nature, and they're just strategies and exercises and tools to help just do what we've already done with our first language. It's all that we do.
So let's look at this. You've got two options. I'm gonna give you a salad and a burger. Which one are you going to choose? Well, in my case, I don't know about you, but I would run to the burger. I don't know, most of us maybe are going to choose the burger, and I would say so because a burger is delicious. It's just cheesy, it has flavor. I mean, it's what it is. And the salad, yeah, not very exciting, but sometimes maybe is what your body is craving or what your body needs. So that's the thing with practice. You need to know that you're processing the language, and you just have to feel challenged to get the progress that you need. It all comes down to your goal. Because if your goal is not to be fluent with a deadline, or you don't need to do it fast, then you can just have fun with whatever you're doing right now. Doesn't matter if it's faster or not, you can just do it. But if your goal is to become fluent in a fast and effective way, sometimes you have to go out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you have to do things that are challenging for you in order to get to your goal. That's what it's going to happen, and that's what you need to do. So we're gonna leave that as some food for thought for you, and feel free to share anything in the comments if you agree with it or not. And if you want to share maybe a tool or something that works for you, we would love to read that also. And that's a wrap for today. And in the next episode, we're going to be talking about what your brain loves. That's patterns and rhythms, so we're gonna fit it with what it likes. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.